Good morning and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow together. Well, we are on a beautiful time here in the middle of the month of July. We are now in the middle of July, and I have to say that the garden is looking really beautiful, in spite of the fact that we have not received rain in a good amount of days. My husband has been diligent in watering the garden. We don't have drip irrigation because we're used to getting at least rain once or twice a week. So it doesn't make it necessary to water the garden through drip irrigation. We do have two hoses, one in the front, one in the back. And he has been just moving the hose around the yard and keeping everything really moist. I have to say, what has really helped these beds that we have put together here is the fact that we invested in some really good compost at the beginning of the season, and it has paid off. The impatiens have really come up and are mounding nicely here in the garden. And I think it's because of the compost. Right now, at this time, these two beds are really the feature beds in the garden. They're the most full, the most colorful. This one and the other one over there. I really love how the impatiens and petunias are filling out that planter. It is bright and it is festive. Just very, very pretty. And this bed now, the cleome, is blooming and just adding another layer of color. So we have the lower layer with the petunias and the impatiens. Then we have the next layer with the purple perilla, just to break up that green. And then we can see the beautiful cleome flowers at the top. In that bed we also have, as you can see, the cosmos and also amaranth and zinnias. And then topping it off is the Casablanca lilies. And they are fading now. They had their time, just really beautiful. I'm very pleased with how they bloomed, and now they're starting to die back. These drumstick alliums are so pretty. They've really filled out nicely, and just watching them move from the green bottom until they've reached this full purple. It's just beautiful, and I love them next to the purple perella here and the cleome. The cleome flower actually looks great with the hosta flower. They complement one another. And I'm expecting this bed to just fill out with more color as the days go by. We have zinnias that will be opening up. I think they're the giant California zinnias. So they will rise up and take their place. I also have here the another lily, and that is called Madonna lily. And that one will bloom in August or early August. I also have a hibiscus right there in the corner that's growing up. It's first year in, and so hopefully it will get to a good height and give us some color. I think I can see the amaranth. The amaranth looks like it wants to color up too. It's starting to show some color. And then I have my rose bush there that has some buds on it, and that rose bush is a knockout rose, red rose. So there's more color to come. We're saying goodbye to the Casablanca lilies and hello to the roses and the other flowers. In this bed I have another rose. This is an old-fashioned rose, and it has decided to bloom. It's sporadic. The blooms are sporadic, but it's still very, very beautiful. Oops, the sun. And then we have here my hydrangea. I'm so happy to have some blooms. I really didn't think I was going to have many, but this is good. This is really good. Yeah, I'm so pleased with the grass, the oat grass in this bed. Usually because of the amount of rain that we usually get, they are tall and we have to shear them back. But right now, this time, because of the lack of rain, or consistent rain, they've stayed low. And I love it. It is so beautiful, and when the sun shines on them, they just look so bright and alive. And then when the wind blows on them, it's just so beautiful. It's amazing how they spread. They're a little invasive. I got this from one of my daughter's friends who lives in the suburbs, and I saw her grasses, and I said, "Could I get some of that?" She gave me a little piece, not much, and I put it in the ground. And today, wherever I plant it, it just wants to take over. But it is truly a filler, and it's beautiful, but it travels. I just love how these impatiens are touching one another and have come together. And so this bed has that layering as well, with the patience at the bottom. And then now we have the zinnias that I planted that are now flowering. So these zinnias are from the seeds, from the flowers from last year. I gathered the seeds and saved them, and I tried to pick a lot of the pinks and also the oranges. I love the pinks, the hot pinks and the oranges, yeah. And I do love the soft pinks as well. I moved some of them into the front bed. I love this pastel. am so impressed with this these cannas. They haven't flowered yet, but they're just very, very, very beautiful, this arrangement here. And I know when they do flower, it's going to be spectacular. But I just love the shades of green and the different textures in this little corner here. Here we have the very tall arborvitae with the maple tree leaves. Isn't that pretty, this corner? Very attractive. That's bishopweed as the ground cover. Variegated bishopweed. And then I have a hoster there. And I do love the way that shrub, the arborvitae, has mounted up like a cloud. It was just one small ball, and over the years it's just developed into this beautiful mound of flowers. I've tried to kind of cut it and carve it so that it will be more distinctive, each of the different balls. And I had to keep on working on it. Well, here too I have some more canna, and as I said, I'm just waiting for them to flower. You can see that from the corner over there where I was to now here, that it's going to be pretty. Here is my David Austin rose that I purchased this year, called Evelyn Rose, and she has buds. She has buds on her. So she will be blooming soon. That is exciting to see. Now here is my elephant ear. It was tucked behind and I couldn't see it, and now I pulled it out and it's getting more sun and exposure, and it's really growing up nicely. I am so pleased with this. It is making me happy. Now here is the other canna, and yes, oh, it's flowered. See, this is what I mean by the flower coming up. Isn't that beautiful? And these are the cannas I saved from last year. I decided to save the canna rhizomes, and I'm glad I did. Look at that. That's beautiful. Well, this is my other bed filled with the oriental lilies that are now fading. However, I was so pleased to see a special surprise with the dahlias. A dahlia bloom. But let's just take a little look at these begonias and the coleus. These coleus are coming up. So sweet. I think it's called Wizard. Very pretty. And then I have the sun patience here. But this is what I'm so amazed at. My dahlia. Isn't that beautiful? Dahlias can be a little tricky, I think. You definitely have to stake them and pinch them. I decided that I would pinch my dahlias early. This particular one, this one came up, and I said I'm going to pinch it so that it can have multiple flowering branches, and it was a good decision. Now these two here have just started to come up, and I am kind of wondering what color it will be. In the package from Costco they had white, so they might be white, and but this is so beautiful. Now I don't remember the name of the dahlia. I'll have to look it up, or I will put a link down in the description of the video of me putting them in the ground. How's that? Or some of the videos with the names of the dahlias for you. But they're Costco bulbs. They're from Costco that I purchased in the spring and planted them in. Saved them. I mean, it took a while, and saved them, and when the ground was warm enough, I was able to put them in. Now, some of them have not come back, have not come up, but these that have, it's just really beautiful, and I like it with the coleus. Now, this tree is an Asian pear tree, and it has a few fruit there. This one over here, this is a Bartle pear tree that I put in a couple of 2 years ago. Yeah, and I don't know if it's the best location, but I like how it's shaped. I like how it looks. I think there's potential. And I also have an apple tree back there, and this is a peach tree. The fruit is suffering. I don't know. I did give them a spray. I sprayed it in early spring, but I don't know. I think I'm going to need to give it a double spray. But let's just dwell on the beauty that we do have. And then, of course, the flowers from the hostas. So what I'm going to do is cut back those flowers because they're a little distraction, but I do let them bloom for now. But I'm going to cut them back. But this is it. This is what it looks like here in the middle of July. Now, in this bed, things are blooming. I moved my canna, the Tropicana, and instead I put the elephant ear in this pot. The reason why is because it was getting hidden in the other pot, and I wanted it to get the light and also to have a prominent place, a spot. So I decided to put this elephant ear here. Another name for elephant ear is dasheen. That's what I know it as, dasheen. In the West Indies, they call it that. And they've actually eat the tubers. Yeah, we put it in food, dasheen. I know in the West Indies, my mom had a dasheen growing by the streams because they love water. They can handle some water, and it was huge. It was, the leaves were big. It's like almost 3 feet tall, And so this is my first year with elephant ear. At first I didn't think they were coming up, but they've shown up so beautifully. This one has 2 tubers, and this has, I think this has 1 tuber. So I only see 1 tuber, 1 leaf here. I'm going to need to continue to water them. And the white, this is alyssum that I planted with it. Now here in this plant, this is my caladium, which is part of the same family as the elephant ear. And as you can see, something is eating the leaves. I think there is a slugs over here, and they love the petunias. So I'll know next year not to plant petunias there because of the slugs. But there's still so much joy here in this bed. Let's check out the calla lilies. Look at them. Beautiful. Calla lily. I love these lilies, and I planted them. This is from a Costco bulbs that I bought in a couple of years back, like 5 or 6 years ago, and finally they really have bloomed. They've taken on such a really great look this year. They're oriental lily. And then I also planted some stargazer lily. And this year they have shown up again. Absolutely beautiful. Well, I moved the Tropicana canna here in this pot, and I think it was a good move. It is very pretty here. We are going to be cutting back. As you can see, we started to do that, to cut back the hosta flowers, and it will really look beautiful here with just the leaves of the hostas and my plant. I am so glad that I bought this pot, the container, and it's just worked out perfectly. It looks exactly how I want it to look. Before I had my Japanese maple in it, but I took it out because it was getting too much sun, and it's in triage up there in my nursery on the deck. So I think, I know that the Tropicana canna can take the heat, and we'll be happy here. I just have to remember to continue to water it, give it what it needs, and it's looking good. Now, I don't know if you see in the background, I have my butterfly bush that has really grown. It's towering here and blooming, but it also has been overtaken by the vines, the bioweed, and I haven't been able to really get back in there. But I have to say that both of the butterfly bushes that I have really grown up nicely, and I know that next year I have to really pay attention. Maybe later on I will be able to get back in there, but it's kind of like a jungle back there. But I love my I love this spot right here. It has my my hosta elegans, and I love it against the arborvitae that's growing up. It's a little wild back there, but it's still beautiful. All right, so here I have near the 2 apple trees that I have here that I'm still waiting for apples on. I decided to make a trellis and to put my tomatoes in this corner. They've always thrived here. I've always had plenty of tomatoes, and as you can see, they are doing very well. You can see the 100s. And this ends up being a really good spot for them because, you know, it's like downhill, and the water, you know, it's a moist area, it's protected, they will get plenty of moisture, you know, retain the moisture, but then they will grow up and get the sun too. So I like this idea. And then I have my mints in pots that I've been cutting. This is lemon balm, and I just need to shear this back so that I can get some fresh growth with the lemon balm. But I've been really drinking and enjoying my teas here. These have been growing up really well. This is orange mint and the apple mint and the lemon balm. Now here, I believe that this plant is what is this? I think that this is a squash, one of the squashes. So a place to go. Now this here is cantaloupe, but it's not doing as well as I thought it would. I mean, you win some, you lose some, right? And this is another tomato. And I'm happy to see how it is flourishing here. It's like aroma. I've been working with this corner here to update it. So that is a plum tree right there. And then we have the bee balm, tomatoes. Those are vinca that are starting to catch themselves. And then I put in these pots and I dug out the hole and put in the pots these pumpkins. And this is the porcelain pumpkin and cinnamon pumpkin. Cinnamon is supposed to be really good for pies, and the pumpkin is just a beautiful white. Now this is my fig tree last year. It was so beautiful and it provided so many figs. But now it died back for some reason. I don't know why. But now it came back, and I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. Look at the leaves. I love the leaves of the fig. It's exotic to me, and I'm so happy to have my fig tree growing out and growing back. Hopefully, it will produce next year. Also, I wanted to show you that I have in the bag here still my potatoes growing in the bag. They're kind of buried, and soon I will be pulling them out and seeing what I've gotten. But they seem to do very well here. Here are the leaves of the potato. It hasn't flowered yet, so I'm waiting for it, and at the right time I will take them out of the bag. Now this is the kitchen garden, and I have been enjoying my blueberries and beans and things from in here, and the tomatoes are growing, and it's a little wild, but actually it's a good thing that everything is tight and dense because of the lack of rain. That helps to keep the ground covered and protected. I just keep on going in there and weeding so that the weeds don't take over, so the plants can grow. But I guess I've been harvesting. Here are all of the different squashes and pumpkins that I put in the ground, and we will. So that's the inside. Isn't it wild? My mustard greens have come back, and with the purple chlorella there, and I've been eating the kale. Yeah, so here I have tomatoes growing up in amongst this. Soon they will grow up and take up the space, but here we have the pumpkins. And the squash and the patty pan. So this plant here is marsh. It's with I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, it's beautiful. It was a gift given to me by one of my gardening friends at the community garden. She had this growing, and I asked, could I get a piece? And look what has happened now. It's so pretty, and it will full out and flower. And I tried to trellis it up so that, contain it so that it will just not overwhelm this area. Last year it was just overwhelming. So this year I'm prepared for it, but it's just starting to bloom. It's beautiful, and the bees love it, which is great because then they are going to be able to pollinate my squashes, so I'll have squash for the time. Yeah, I'll be able to harvest some squash, some patty pans, some squash, some butternut squash. And here, check out my corn. The corn stalk. Yeah, and I do have some corn growing there on this one. I also planted some snap peas. And I ate them. They are so sweet. I purchased these trellis for the cucumbers so that they will climb up and they won't get overtaken by the pumpkins, hopefully. But they'll have some place to grow up and I can harvest them. And here is a watermelon. I didn't know, it's a little slow to grow, but it's coming. It's coming. Hopefully it will move out and take up some space here. Actually, I placed these cages here so that I can give them a place to hang, and grow. So we'll see how things go here. I mean, the space is tight, but I think it'll be all right. This section is a work in progress, and I'm hoping to finish up on it and make it look real beautiful going into the rest of the summer and into the fall. So that's pretty much it. I moved the cannas up here, and I'm going to put some flowers in that planter to add some more color here. And it's exciting. I know it's going to come alive for August, so stay tuned. Stay tuned. I love this rose. I think it suits that pot so well. Yeah. I think this is coming along good, really well. Well, I have to do some work with my rose bush over there, my climbing rose, but I see that there's some new growth on it, and so later on I'm sure that I'll have some flowers on my Eden climbing rose. This whole bed area, I'm going to redesign it as we go along, but right now I don't want to interfere with it because of the lack of rain. I'm hoping that it will rain soon, and then I will go in and I will edit this corner. What I want to do is actually take this hydrangea out and move it to the back border, and that will help to change things a bit. Now in this bed, if you look there, you'll see this plant here with the red, with the bee balm. That is a hibiscus. I call it pinky hibiscus. So I need to move things and cut back things so that we'll be able to see her, my pinky hibiscus. But I'm pleased with the bee balm here because it had died back and I thought I'd lost it. But all you need is just a little bit of root, and it will spread. It's in the mint family, and it will spread. Now I failed to cut back my rose bush here, curly pink rose, and it is producing rose hips, which is wild. So because I'm getting the color from the red color from the bee balm, I'm not really missing it. However, that's really different. I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. This is what it looks like, the color of this rose. My bridal bouquet hydrangea is changing color, starting to take on a blue, a baby blue. I really haven't introduced you to this spot. And this is our vegetable patch that we have here. I have tomatoes. My tomatoes are growing. Pumpkin vines running through. Eggplants. And I created this trellis here for the cucumbers, and I'm starting to see some cucumbers here. We have to pick up these tomatoes, but yeah, check out the cucumbers. Well, this border has just been getting bigger, taller, and more expansive. And my zebra grass this year is not as tall as it used to be. However, it's looking good. The euonymus is doing well, and my rose bushes are starting to bloom out again. So we're going to get another flush of roses from the knockout roses. But in the front here, this is my urban cottage garden. That's what I call this. And here I have my wild garden. I decided to try some wild seeds, meadow seeds, and it looks good. I mean, it's different, filled with bachelor's buttons and cosmos. And I have a few tomato plants in there and some sunflowers. They're starting to come up, and it's different. It's different. And then my butterfly bush is looking really good. Thank you for joining me here at Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow, grow, grow together. And I just want to let you know that on Wednesdays we have what I call our live growing together sessions, in which we come and chat and laugh and have a really great time right here on the deck. And I share with you different things that I've learned about the garden, and you're able also to ask questions and to chime in and share your knowledge as well with everyone. I'm just so pleased with how things are looking here on the deck, and I've changed some things too here, and the season is changing, and every day brings a special joy to me, and I love sharing it with you here at Catherine's Garden and Home. As you can see, my calla lilies are just multiplying here and looking so beautiful. So come and join me here at Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow, grow together. Here in my urban cottage garden. For more videos, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And thank you so much for watching. See you next time right here in Catherine's Garden. Bye.